All right, we're live.
Sweet.
Welcome to the people of Portland and beyond. It's a beautiful day today in Portland on March 26, 2018. Today in studio with me is our first true fan, Fred Seghetti. Um,
How you doing, folks?
yeah, thanks for coming out.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate it.
So, you found me on SoundCloud?
I did, yeah. A friend of mine gave me your ad on Craigslist
Yeah.
because I was posting an ad on Craigslist about looking out to meet, fellow artists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did have another Craigslist ad for musicians, but that didn't turn out so good, so I stopped, and then I went to art, and then one of my friends forwarded me your thing, thought it might be a good idea to get me some exposure, which I said, I kind of was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
But then I thought about, but your ad expired. And then I found you on SoundCloud after I Googled your people of Portland
Yeah.
and beyond. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I like that, dude. That's a really good
Thank you.
name. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah. So that's how I found you. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then I just happen to have a SoundCloud account.
Yeah.
A SoundCloud account. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a lot to say.
Yeah, so you're a single father, retired Army interrogator, and counterintelligence specialist. Sounds really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about that a little bit?
Dude, it was really awesome. I brought some things for show and tell. I don't know if you were
Yeah, let's see it.
wanted to do that.
Sure.
But we can probably get to that later. But
okay.
I was I like serving my country. I've always kind of had this thing about serving other people, helping other people.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the community,
mm-hmm.
your neighborhood, your next door neighbor, or for me, I got to do it on a worldwide platform.
Yeah.
I started out actually as a heavy wheel mechanic, wrecker operator. Oh, tool room specialist, and then fuel handler sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched to the military intelligence.
Okay.
I just happen to have a natural ability to read people and talk to people.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are some of the day-to-day activities that you do there?
As an interrogator?
Yeah.
Well, depends on the mission. The majority of the time, honestly, for me, was training and perfecting the trade craft, as we call it. The cool stuff.
Yeah.
That the government trains us to do, if that makes sense.
So
day to day, a lot of training.
Yeah.
So day to day, you wake up, you meet up with everybody, go to class, come back. That's what it's like back in the States. But then if you get lucky, you go to a mission, and then day to day varies. But most of the time you try to stay alive and then try to assist the teams in any way that they need. That makes sense.
Yeah. Were the physical requirements stringent?
Yeah. Yes. Both in training and overseas. Yeah, the op tempo can be high. But for some people, they take it as a chance to relax whenever they're not doing things. But I always like to go out to the gym, work out, whenever I have some downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to stay active.
You go to the gym around in Portland?
I used to go to Planet Fitness, but I just stopped going. I just bought all the weights like you have here and just do it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find doing things at home is much easier. Yoga,
it is.
I lift weights, and I got the bike by the window.
I don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to drive. And I love going to the gym, but no.
Time's pretty important to me. I like to not waste any time at all. So that drive to the gym, that walk to the gym, getting ready to go to the gym, all that's going to take my time away. And that's the most valuable thing in the world to me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
He's pulling out some toys from his backpack.
Yeah. Well, here you go. This is what the
very cool
Army gives us to prepare us for the military.
So we got this Afghanistan country handbook. Tell you about the precipitation.
That's pretty.
Internet.
Yeah.
Under Taliban rule, internet access was forbidden by anyone not associated with the government.
Oh.
Much of the country is in the beginning stages of acquiring internet access. The number of Afghans with internet access has increased rapidly since 2000, multiplying from an estimated 1,000 to 25,000. It's not that many.
What's that?
People with internet access, but they're saying it's expanded 25 times from 1,000.
Yes. Well, this is dated December 2007, so it was probably even a few months before that. But yeah, this is what the Army, or for me anyway, that's what they gave us.
Yeah.
It's like a crash course in a country. Seriously, this is Afghanistan in a nutshell.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that one guy will write several books from several different countries? Who do they choose to write that one book? They have multiple people compiling information.
Oh, well, this stuff is from it's the CIA.
Yeah.
DIA. I mean, all government agencies kind of go together. Yeah. Yeah, these are the special forces ones.
Nice. There's also a new government agency with the Space Force.
Say again?
The Space Force?
Space Force.
You heard of that one?
Yeah. Well, okay, so we've already had some version of that anyway, and that falls under the Air Force.
Yeah.
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 So to call it Space Force is silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have it. We do need it, and I think it's great. I don't think you should call it Space Force. It's still classified. Supposedly, it's supposed to be classified under the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So we shouldn't be talking about it. So I don't even know why Donald Trump was doing that. But I mean, I kind of understand why. He wanted money, and I don't know. He likes to boast and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about Space Force, dude. Yeah, if I could be in Space Force, dude, I would. But unfortunately, they didn't have that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also painted a huge veterans memorial in Vancouver that apparently people had not heard about. So let's get the word out there.
I actually have a model of it. It's to scale, actually.
Nice.
There's one change in there, but you wouldn't really know it. But
Nice.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, it just opens up. No, you're good. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's a little bit. Yeah, so it's 12 feet tall, 32 feet wide. Took me a couple of years to paint it, actually. Of course, 13 of those months I was in Afghanistan. So it's in Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah.
It's a Veterans Memorial Remembrance Wall. It's on the right side. It's actually much longer. There's other murals. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All done by hand, dude. Little tiny brushes. No stencils, no spray paint, no team of people, no scaffolding.
Nice.
Some places I didn't even have a ladder, dude. I was literally just reaching on my tippy toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where were you before you were in Portland?
Just before Portland, I was in Germany. But before that, Austin, Texas. That's where I'm from.
All right. What's it like over there? Is it super hot? I know. And
in Austin?
There's a yoga girl that I follow, Julia Jarvis, and she's the only second yoga instructor I met that also likes to shoot guns.
Was she on your show?
She was not. I would love her on my show, but
you have a yoga instructor.
I do yoga to her yoga videos.
Okay.
Amazon Prime, I discovered her, and she's on YouTube.
Snap.
So she's my favorite yoga teacher, huh?
On Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime is where I discovered her. Yeah,
that's funny.
She's a yoga instructor. She also shoots guns, and
I
have a friend also.
Bang bang! I like to shoot guns.
Another girl that stayed with me from couchsurfing.org. She's just starting out learning teaching yoga, and she also shot a gun. So on an Instagram profile, someone made a comment like, "It's uncommon for a yoga instructor to shoot a gun." I'm like, actually, I do know another one in Texas that does.
Well, she would actually that'd be the first person I've heard of being yoga and a gun, but mix. It's not uncommon in certain circles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin is hot, humid. It's not as hilly and mountainous like it is here. Yeah, and it literally takes more than a whole day, depending on where you start from in Texas, to get just across it. It's so huge.
Yeah, I traveled across it in car. I've been to it, Austin. Yeah.
Texas is so big. If you were to take all 7.5 whatever billion people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
You could cram every single human being on Earth in Texas and still have a little, not much, but you still have a little bit of room left over, if that makes sense. All the people in the world, cram them all together, whoop, right there in Texas, and still have a little bit of room. Not much. Yeah. So yeah, it's big.
I remember when I was going across the border. I've been across the Texas border maybe 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And there was all these cops, like 30 cops just waiting at the border for people that were going, I think, 56 miles an hour or something like that.
From like I-10?
Yeah, it was I-40
from El Paso,
or something.
El Paso?
Yeah.
Like from the west side?
I was coming from New York, driving to California at the time.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So yeah, I just remember that there was just a whole bunch of cops at the border just waiting, state troopers pulling everybody over, and I was
They
like,
are bad. They are pretty bad. That's how they make their money, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just reading about or listening to a podcast with Ari Shafir, and they were just saying how the cops are it's a waste of money to be trying to go after people that are going to a massage parlor and things like that. It's like, why don't they go after murderers and all this? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of things that are petty that they go after people. They would call them misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of going after people for misdemeanors.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you do go after them, it should be just a very much smaller punitive, thing than what it should be. And then you should be able to say, okay, I fucked up, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And move on. And then it shouldn't be continually thrown in your face years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think that people that are in jail for cannabis should be released at this point?
Oh, not only just released, but also all charges, what do they call that? Dropped and, records clear, expunged, whatever they call that. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that our police is becoming militant and militarized in a way, but yet at the same time, they're also being weaponized in a civil manner. So like when a man and a woman are having problems, it's very common when the cops are involved when they really don't need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Domestic issues?
Definitely for domestic issues. Yeah, definitely for domestic, but also for petty stuff. Like, dude, playing music, dude. I don't know how many times I've had the cops called playing my bass guitar in broad daylight, just jamming, dude.
You gotta be kidding.
And I'm not playing rap, and I do play a little heavy metal, but it's not. Most of it's just practicing my scales and modes.
Yeah.
Dude, just practicing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do for about an hour or two apparently annoys the neighbors.
What kind of amp do you have going?
I use Korn's, the bass player from Korn's amp. So I got a Mesa Boogie M2000. It's one of the best amps you could have bought in the 1990s.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid amp, so it's got a tube and solid state.
Okay.
And then you blend the channels together. I think it's only 600 watts.
Yeah.
And I use 410s, and then I use a 5-string Ibanez sound gear, but a new one. I got the what do they call that? Ceramic active pickups and all that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Fender Stratocaster Eric Clapton 1988 with active pickups over there.
It is the classic guitar. I mean, yeah.
I played it in this, I think it's called Centaur guitars around here, and just fell in love with it and I had to get it. I didn't get the amp that I was playing it on, but it still sounds great. All the studio recordings, basically that intro, the outro of the podcast come from this guitar and the bass. Oh, really? Behind. Yeah.
I was wondering about that. Do you play that while we're sitting here? Because I wasn't sure if that was played over during the okay.
That would be cool.
That right? Yeah. No, dude, that's a classic sounding guitar, dude. I play with a guitar player in Vancouver, and that's what he uses.
Okay.
As well, and it's I got to play luckily with a few. They call themselves the world class rockers.
Yeah.
But we know them as, what do you call that? The guitar player from Steppenwolf, the guys from Moody Blues, Toto, Foreigner, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, all of them, what I've seen, used the Fender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Slash and Guns N' Roses as
Mm-hmm.
one of my main influences, and probably the band that broke through was like my favorite band ever when I was young. But I loved Slash, so I was like, I'm getting a Les Paul Standard when I grow up. But I
Okay.
never ended up getting one. They're like $2,000.
Dude, just the price alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2,000. It's for the name, and it's like it's heavy as this one's heavy as hell too. I wonder if the Les Paul Standard's heavier than that one. But actually, I wonder what's your
I don't
favorite.
know.
What was your favorite band growing up? Like the first one that got through to you, like Guns N' Roses did with me.
Metallica.
Yeah.
Enter Sandman. I remember the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you watching the Yankee game?
No, I was in a van
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of Boy Scouts, and we were on our way to Oklahoma to go camping. And one of the boys in the group was a good friend of mine. He put in the tape into the van, stereo system, and was cranking it out to all of us, while we're going up I-35 to Oklahoma. And it was Enter Sandman, and that was a song that hooked me, and basically is the reason why I play guitar or bass to this day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Metallica.
I was 13, by the way.
The Black Album was
Yep.
the first, I think, exposure, really noticing them as a band for me.
Yeah.
My friend was like, I don't know what I should get, the Black Album or the Spin Doctors album.
What did he get?
He ended up getting the Black Album.
He chose wisely,
Yeah,
my friend.
because they were
Yeah.
one hit wonder.
That's the way to do it.
They had two Princes, and I think that was about it. So
Wait, was that the song called Two Princes?
that's what Spin Doctors had. Yeah, they had two.
I remember that song. Okay, not a bad jam. Okay,
Yeah.
that was pretty catchy. Not knocking the Spin Doctors,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, sorry, Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Album is timeless. I mean,
It still is, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hearing that one or two riffs from that guitar, yeah, everybody knows it. And which is funny. Most guitarists are actually playing it wrong, which is funny.
Mm.
Yeah. I was playing it wrong for many years until someone told me, oh, you got to do it this way, and that's how you do it.
There's a conspiracy with the guitar tabs on the internet. Like, if you look at the tablature, I'd say about 80% of them are wrong in some way, and no one ever corrects them. They're 20-year-old tabs that no one corrects. I don't know. Google search results just made it this way, but it's like they'll show version 8 will have the most stars on, and it sucks.
Yes, I know. Okay. I think I can just blame it on everybody's got different ears, and which means everyone's got their own opinions on what it sounds like.
Right.
So therefore, everyone's, you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own opinion on it. So
yeah,
we all know what that means.
Exactly.
Yeah. We all got them and they all stink.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to do it your own. Or do what I used to do. I used to be able to go to the mall.
Some of the chords are just off, though. Like, you'll
Yes.
see a G chord, and it's actually like something not even in the fifth, in the circle of fifths or anything that has the scale or anything. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
Not even breaking the rules like the way certain Beatles songs do, where they go to like the F sharp instead of the F. No, it's just wrong.
You need to go to the source. So what I used to do is I would go to the mall, and you used to go to this place called B Goody or Sam Goody Music Store. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But they used to have guitar tab from the actual bands that were written by professional publishers that were note for note annotations from the master recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would when I started playing, I would actually get the Metallica Enter Sandman book, and so they had all the songs. Me being a bass player, I bought the bass version, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you learn actual music theory or just taught yourself?
I learned from myself, and really I learned a lot from others, people like you. You know what I mean? You and I get together and we just jam. And really I learned from others. And then I started branching out on my own as the internet came about, and I was able to learn like music videos, tutorials, Yeah. How to play like the legends, how to play like Van Halen and Eric Johnson. And then I learned from other people who also learned from other people.
How old were you when you were learning?
Well, I started out at 16, and then I sucked, and I put it down for a while, and then I picked it up again in the Army.
Uh-huh.
And then I met a guitar player, And I guess I instantly became his bass player because I was pretty much the only bass player around. And so he taught me music theory and scales and things like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
That I learned in college. My friend Mafi in SUNY Old Westbury College. I was a sophomore, or was a yeah, I think it was a sophomore or freshman, second semester. Sorry, and he just taught me all the scales, and he's like, "All famous guitarists have last name ending in E. Joe Satriani, Joe Addy." I was like, "Oh yeah, sounds good, man."
Right.
And I ended up learning a whole bunch of really essential key guitar things from him. So totally owe him that.
And so, yeah, so that ends in an I vowel thing. It goes for you too, as well as me, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're just destined to play, huh?
Yeah. It doesn't end in an I, but the vowel sound.
Yeah, the vowel sound. Yeah.
Exactly. Eddie Van Halen was a major inspiration, but I could never play like him. Did you like him growing up?
Yes, and still to this day, quite a few of his, popular licks, even though I know now how they go.
Yeah.
But to actually replicate it like he does with the speed.
No.
And
I just see it as
confidence.
Art.
No.
He was an artist that painted something that no one else could ever paint, is what I say.
No, but getting the book and then reading and seeing the notes that he played is actually pretty eye-opening. Like, yeah, he really did follow the scale, like the E minor scale and the minor pentatonic scale or mode or whatever. He actually used, those are notes, the secret's right there.
They said that he was really technical, but now that explains it when you say that.
Yes. Yeah, when you realize it. So you learned classically, maybe? You learned from school, right?
No, actually, I taught myself.
Oh, you taught yourself. Okay.
But later, my uncle and aunt taught me some pointers, so I had it kind of was shaped a little bit more. I prefer the way I learned for sure.
I find mathematically, like you said, tablature.
Yeah.
Doing it mathematically is for me is better. But once you start seeing the math, you can see the numbers and the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no doubt that he was definitely using scales. He
was reading sheet music.
No, I don't know if he was reading sheet music, but he was definitely using the notes that are followed within the scale of, the E minor, major pentatonic, what are the different modes, Lydian mode, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you're also into design and fashion. So
yeah, I started out designing T-shirts, and then with the advancement in technology and availability of print on demand, started out on T-shirts and then spread out to stickers and iPhone and iPad cases, electronic devices.
Yeah.
Oh, and then wall art, stuff that you put on the wall. Did you
ever sell that?
Paintings.
Yeah.
All over the world, lots of them, quite a bit. Yeah, for many years.
Really? Where did you sell it?
Here locally over at the Hilton Hotel, both here in Portland and Vancouver. And then it started out really in the Army, selling it to my Army buddies, in the unit.
Yeah.
And then it branched out to the shops.
Interesting.
That were on the Army bases. There's inside the Army bases, you have like restaurants and stores and things like that. And so the shopkeepers would buy the shirts from me and then resell them to the people out and about. Yeah. And then I actually started painting down in California, really, because some people were wanting to add some things to their wall. And I said, oh, I'll paint that for you. And then that's just kind of where it started.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you ever sell like on Etsy or anything, eBay, online?
I tried selling them online, but I do better in person. And then I do better at the fairs, like when you do like the farmers markets.
Portland Saturday Market?
I've never done the Portland Saturday Market, but I did the Vancouver First Fridays or something like that.
Yeah.
The Saturday Market, there was a waiting list. At the time I was ready, it just didn't work out.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to do the Saturday Market. I've been there, but I've never been able to sell. Yeah.
What's geopolitics? You told me about that in the message you sent me.
Geopolitics. Oh, that just basically means different parts of the world. Based on my experience, I have firsthand experience in dealing with like geopolitics of like governments, how different places have different beliefs and different
Yeah.
thoughts and different ideas and different laws and different
Hmm.
things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your experience with it?
That America, like most of the world, is not really like America. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Most of the world, if you're dealing with a third world country, or actually, I wouldn't even say third world country because today third world countries are actually doing much better than they were 20 years ago. So I'm not saying third world. When I say third world, I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. I'm just saying that these are just undeveloped countries that don't necessarily have good connections locally to their government.
Yeah.
They're mostly isolated, and sometimes uh, the people in your village are the ones that determine your laws, and they may not necessarily uh, they may violate your human rights as we see as Americans. But over there, it's just normal.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay to beat your kids, and it
Yeah.
was okay to beat. Like when I grew up, my parents spanked me, and I thank my dad and mom for every spanking they gave me because I deserved it. Maybe a better man.
You think kids are less disciplined now because they're not getting
Oh,
hit?
yes, absolutely. Yes, because it's so easy for them to pick up the phone, call 911 and say, my mom and dad are beating me. Come
Mm,
get them. And then their parents are in jail. So yeah, no, we've taken away a lot of the power from the family,
yeah.
from the parents, especially the dads, because now everybody just gives the kids to the mom and divorce.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does seem like the divorce cases are going to women majority of the time.
Yeah, they always use that well, what do they call that? Oh, the tender years, and the child should be with the mother because that's just, I guess, they think better, which
Yeah.
I don't always agree. Depending on the father, yeah, it can be bad. But for me, not this dad. I got 3 kids, so I love them all, and they love me, and yeah. Oh, I love everyone else's kids too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I
I'm
was
not
talking.
offering to babysit for the world, but yeah, your kids are cool.
I was talking to a guest yesterday about the scooters. They're going to be coming back soon. You had a post on your Facebook about people putting like fake stickers on it for SX. Explain what that was.
Yeah, so the whole scooter boom thing has been going on, and I'm all about that. We got a lot of traffic
Yeah.
and congestion, and these companies, with the South by Southwest going on in Austin right now,
Mm-hmm.
the scooter people were in full force, and they had a bunch of scooters out there. And I guess somebody, according to the Austin American Statesman, which is the magazine, not magazine, I'm sorry, which is the newspaper in Austin,
Yeah.
they had an article in there that said someone was going around these scooters and putting a sticker that says clap activated, which I thought at that time was the funniest thing I'd seen in my whole entire life because I've never used the scooters personally.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, you have to
Use
your
hands.
smartphone.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a smartphone, but I've had one and I understand the concept of it. And I know for a fact that you go up to a scooter and you clap it, it's not going to work. But I thought it was funny as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's people that don't know and they're going to do this. And I just thought it was good, funny humor. I'm not laughing at the dumb people that did it. I feel bad for you, but man, that was just made my day right there. That made my whole week. Yeah.
Also got this. You brought some seasoning in. Thank you.
Smells get to open a box.
I'm not even going to ask you what's in it.
This came from the dark web.
I'm not going to ask you what's in it because it says that on your.
It's a secret. Yeah, don't ask what. Yeah.
Just ask for it by name.
Ooh. I'm just here to bring a little bit of spice in your life.
Oh, it smells amazing. I'm going to be using it tonight because I have some chicken.
Dude, it's perfect.
I make whole chicken in my rotisserie toaster oven over there. So,
dude, this will make everything you do or make taste better.
It smells so fresh. I love it. It smells. I'm going to be loving this devil's breath. And
oh, you know what?
What is this one? Italian herbs. I need to get fresh spices are very important. And I feel like I keep my.
The bottle looks like. This is what it looks like in the stores.
I feel like I keep my spices in the pantry too often, and this will come in handy. This is going to be really good. I think this would do well at Portland Saturday.
You like spicy food? Can you handle the heat?
I can handle it in moderate doses.
Okay, so that's a little spicy, but it's not too bad. So just use
Okay.
a tiny little bit amount. It's called Devil's Breath for a reason.
Yeah, I think Portland Saturday Market, you'd work really well. There's this guy that sells outside of the Portland Saturday Market, and you smell the spices, and you just go over there to get the sample. It smells so good.
Yes.
You could post them maybe farther side from him. Man, you'd kill it.
Yes, I was in the Vancouver market. I wanted to do the Beaverton market, but they denied me.
Really?
Yeah. I got turned down at the Beaverton market, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm a local vendor or whatever, but
yeah.
I don't know why, but they turned me down.
Damn.
Oh, but they didn't refund my application fee though.
That is some
right.
shady stuff right there.
They kept the application fee because they charge you to apply.
Of course.
I know, and I didn't get my fee, and
they do. I think they do that.
So I'm boycotting them. I
feel sorry for the people that made an application before Trump office to try to get an overseas wife in here, because they charge I think you end up getting charged $2,000 in fees. I think maybe $750 for the initial application fee or whatever.
Oh, to bring someone in?
Yeah. So anybody that filled out that application before Trump might have gotten screwed over out of their money.
I would imagine so.
That would suck.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't get your money back for that.
No. So you better have all your numbers straight if you're going to be doing that. I was just thinking they can't reject you if you're paying all that money. That would be horrible. I mean, but they probably do in some cases. I mean, it sucks.
If the government says you're banned, dude. If you're on the do not fly list, dude, that's it.
Yeah. Do not fly list. Does that apply to international and domestic when you get on that?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Dude, yeah, they're linked up now.
Oh, man.
Dude, you can pretty much thank September 11.
Yeah.
The Twin Towers, the bombing.
Saying, like, my friend, when he was leaving Portland, he went to Virginia and he was being an idiot. I mean, he just refused to put his cat like under the seat or something. He was like holding it in his lap, and so like they put him on the do not fly list. So now he can't fly into another country. That kind of sucks.
Oh yeah.
Or Virgin, they put him on the Virgin America do not fly. I guess by airline. I don't know if it's different.
You can be. Yeah.
Wow.
But you could probably just maybe appeal later.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ask really nicely.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
You also got a website going. That's pretty cool. Seghetti.com. Seghettis.com.
Yeah. I have a few websites with my artwork.
How do you set that up? I'm curious because I need to get my own website going. I'll have one, but josephaddy.com, but it's not really properly set up right now.
There's a few ways to do it. You can go online and try to find these free templates,
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. And then
but what site are you using right now?
For me, it's depends on your hosting. I use GoDaddy.
Yeah, I use GoDaddy.
Mm-hmm.
But where did you use to set up your website? Like what template?
Oh, I didn't even use a template. I made mine from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did go to a few websites, like, I hate to say this, but I used like Mrs. Dash for inspiration, McCormick, and a couple of other seasoning companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
But like
I didn't copy them, but I used them for inspiration and say, oh, okay, so these were what the
you coded it, is what I'm saying?
No. I actually had like one of those nice programs that GoDaddy provides you. You have to pay extra for it.
Okay. So you're doing a monthly fee?
You do a monthly fee, yeah, but it's really low. I mean, it's $6-7 a month, I think.
It's not too bad.
It's not bad.
It's not Wix or anything, is it?
No, but it's similar to Wix.
Okay.
Only less complicated. Wix, and then what's the other one? What was the other one?
I forget. There's WordPress is what
WordPress, yeah. So some of them you have to pay, some of them are free, whatever, but
my friend Brian Moreno from episode 19 was supposed to help me set it up, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. So he should get that. I'm gonna send him this episode. Get him.
The other option is to hire someone else to do it.
Yeah,
which
I could slip him a little money if he wants to reply. Maybe.
Yeah,
it seems like he's passionate, so I'll have him do it.
Sure. Otherwise, GoDaddy. They have a little program that you can use.
Cool, man.
Yeah, but yeah, they do charge you for that.
Yeah.
But I think you just lump it in with your web hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're into health and nutrition. You got any suggestions?
Yeah. A lot of people need to eat less,
Yeah.
do more, but what you do eat needs to be better quality
Right.
with less sugar and, you know, things that just aren't really good for you. I'd say eat a variety, but just moderation's the key. You know what I mean? But definitely more vegetables than sugar or sweets.
Why are vegetables so important?
Why are vegetables so
I
important?
know I was told when I was a kid, you got to eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
You
well,
got the
most of it has
vitamins
to do
in
with
there.
the vitamins and minerals.
I'm just thinking about the opposing views, like on the Rogan show, the carnivores and stuff like that.
Yes. And I'm a big fan of carnivores.
Yeah.
But I think the advantage to eating vegetables is number one, no animals are harmed in the making or whatever of your meal.
Yeah.
And then number two, they have a lot of vitamins and minerals that we need to live. And then number three, I think is what's important is they make you feel good eating them. Like I can eat a plate of meat and a plate of salad, and I guarantee you the plate of salad, I'm going to eat it and I'm not going to feel so full or weighted down or lethargic.
Right.
But I still like savory, umami. I like protein,
Yeah.
So I'm a carnivore. But yeah.
I was once suggested by a nutritionist to eat all these meat substitute products, and I was immediately not wanting to do any of that and was turned off. Fake eggs and things like this.
I eat all that stuff.
Really?
But I also eat my chicken breast, and I like fish and
variety.
I still, you gotta have a variety. Yeah. No, I love edamame. I love soybean. I just recently, last summer, was introduced to that fake meat patty that actually bleeds like real meat, and it's made from like a pea.
Okay.
It's made from peas. I don't know what it's called, but it's amazing, and I love it. And I really was fooled. It tastes
what
like
are the companies that you prefer for that type of thing? Morningstar Herd is not a good one.
You know what, dude? I've tried them all, but you know what? You throw Seghetti's Top Secret seasoning on it, and it all tastes really amazing.
Exactly.
So by itself, it's probably not that good.
Right.
So it's really how you prepare it and what you use. Yeah.
Goes for anything.
Yeah.
That's what my brother always said. He's like, if you don't like a certain dish, it's probably just because it was prepared in a way that you didn't like it or incorrectly.
Yep.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh man,
hated that.
But I like them when they're raw.
Yeah.
Which is just a cabbage.
I like them now. The proper seasoning, prepared properly. My dad used to make spinach basically frozen, and he would just defrost it, and that's how he used to eat spinach. So I don't even know the real way to eat spinach.
That's how I grew up with it too. But now I eat it fresh and raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even planted some yesterday, man, in my garden. My little tiny little pot.
That's awesome. I want to germinate some spinach seeds and get that going because
they say now is a good time to do it.
Yeah, I grew lettuce last year and I got spoiled, and I was like, I can't even buy lettuce now because it's so great to just cut it off the plant and eat it when
it really is
and fresh. And then you hate to see your lettuce go bad. It's the worst thing to see something you bought and 3 days later you're like, when you grow it, you don't have that problem. It's the best feeling.
For real.
Potatoes I grew 2 years in a row. Garlic. I plant it in the winter over at Adams Community Garden.
Okay.
Comes out really good. Fresh garlic. I haven't bought garlic in a long time.
How long have you been around this area?
I've been in Portland about 5 years, 6 years, I think, at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You're not from here?
No, I'm from New York originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
An East Coast boy. Yeah. I actually was born in D.C., and my mom is from New York.
All right.
Or Newark, which is the same close.
What part of D.C. you grew up in?
Dude, I was actually born in D.C. What do you call it? Cheverly, Maryland, Prince George's County. But after my brother was born, we moved to Texas because they just got tired of the cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how cold it gets in Texas. But in the winters, it gets really cold.
It can be. Not as cold as on the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Extreme.
But in Austin, we do get snow on occasion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mainly the Panhandle. Not so much in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up in Texas?
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you was it racial?
Dude, it was really awesome.
Okay.
Because you grow up thinking that it's the best place on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Wild West,
Yeah.
and you can still die going to your friend's house and step on the the wrong person's property and get shot.
How many people have guns over there?
Everybody, to my
Everybody?
knowledge. I mean, not everybody, but for the most part, I grew up with guns.
Yeah.
I have guns. My father has guns. Family has guns. Some you shoot, and some are just for show. The handmade ones that are hand carved out of nickel. You can shoot them, but you don't really want to shoot them. You just keep them up on the wall.
Yeah.
And I shoot for sport, not for to kill an animal. I shoot like targets. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I see some of that on Rogan, and I can't imagine myself can't imagine doing it. And I'm
shooting an animal.
Yeah, it just wouldn't feel good about it.
No, I'd rather hunt a human.
I understand,
especially a bad guy.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from when he's like, "There's too many wolves in this area." So, but I couldn't do it myself.
If you're personally, literally being hounded by wolves, by all means. If that's your only way to take care of them, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Yeah. But I would prefer that you just scare them off, make a loud noise.
Yeah. Do you think that wolves could ever take over mankind, like, and dominate us if we let it get out of control?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know where humans are going to go, but I'd like to think that nothing will be able to replace us, but we might screw it up so bad that we might have to go somewhere else. I'm not sure. It's yet to be seen. We may be the aliens visiting other planets.
I was just talking. Do you think that we could actually leave the planet one day?
Yeah, we already have, but we got to go a little bit further.
And live somewhere else permanently?
Dude. Okay, I'm not sure, but I'd like to think that we can.
I
think
hope
we may
so.
have to.
My thing is, I was just telling a podcaster just last episode, if we can't put out a fire, like any forest fire, how are we going to travel the whole fucking population to another planet? Like, why can't we get a Zeppelin full of water and dump it and flood our forest? Like, why can't we solve that problem yet? It's been hundreds of years.
I know. I think it's a good thing that we should at least try to attempt.
I do.
Yeah.
It's like,
because maybe a few smart ones can get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing. People are like, we'd have a better chance of transporting our genes or something and putting in the matrix of human, like Doctor Who, I'm talking now, put into the time matrix and just uploading ourselves than the human beings, because that's going to be a little bit more difficult.
That's another option too. I think the more diversified we are, the better we are.
Yeah. Now, do you think that a human brain could be transported into another body, or like just copying a human being's and putting the hard drive of that human into another human? Do you think it's possible? Is it the same human technically?
Oh, now that I don't know if it's going to be the same person, but I'd like to think it would be.
But how? Can two humans exist in one plane? If you make a copy?
No, the body brain would be no good, but the person's new brain, it would be the person whoever owned that brain.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about the closest thing to an out of body experience, literally would be to take your brain and put it in someone else's body. Correct.
That's the thing. Like, when you can't make a copy, because
I think it's possible. Yeah, we're getting close to it. We've already got human head transplants.
So what happens if I'm put into 1,000 different bodies at once? How can that be the same person?
You meant at one. One at a time. I'm so sorry. One brain, one person.
I agree with that.
Sorry.
We're talking about computer files, right? You copy and paste a computer file. It's like you can cut and paste.
You would not be the same person.
You're talking about cutting and pasting. I'm talking about copy and pasting. But that whole thing.
Yes. No.
The whole thing is like, if copy and paste exists, then how can cut and paste work?
Yeah, we're snowflakes. Yeah, I don't think you could really replicate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. You could not be one person in 1,000 bodies at the same time.
That's why the whole cut and paste thing doesn't work for me. It's like, how can we upload a human consciousness into something else?
No.
It's not the same.
No.
To me.
It's not.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds awesome. You're like, yes, I would love that, to not be able to die.
You can digitize it, but it's not the same person.
There's a Black Mirror episode. They go to a digital heaven. And basically, I had that idea for 5 years.
Okay.
I was like, I want to write that science fiction movie. You go to a digital heaven. You don't actually.
Dude, that sounds like a great song right there, dude. Just the name of title of a song.
I gotta write that song. I gotta record that song before this episode.
Yeah, for real.
That would be good, but it's like, that idea sounds great, but how does it work is the problem I have with it.
No.
Yeah.
you can digitize everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you store it to a hard drive or whatever, once you turn it 2 digits, it's not possible at this point in time. I'm not saying we can't do it in the future.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might be able to take digits and turn it real.
Yeah.
As
far as cryonics.
But I'm pretty sure I cannot write code for a turd and have a machine print up a turd. Yeah. Maybe that would be really awesome if it could, but I don't think we can do that yet. Yeah, not yet.
Do you think cryonics will ever work in the future, maybe 100 years from now?
Cryonics. Oh my gosh.
People know it as cryogenics. Let's call it the real name, guys.
What's that?
Cryonics.
Cryonics is the real name. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Shit, man. I think it's possible right now, the way they're doing it. It's not because of cellular tissue damage from the freezing process, even though they are pumping the bodies with fluids and antifreeze and other kinds of weird things. But it's no. But in the future, if it's possible, yeah. I'd like to think so. I'm an optimist, so I'd like to think that it's the science behind it seems to be there, but we just have quite a few hurdles to overcome.
Absolutely.
But I'm an optimist. Yeah. Yeah. But I think right now, putting your money into that, no, I think maybe that money should go to other research. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like keeping the alive people alive. That would be much better research. The ones who are alive. The ones who are dead.
Yeah. Well, we're working on that, trying to bring people back from the dead.
Right.
We are?
Yeah.
No, that's not. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's the problem I have.
Sometimes we can do it.
That's an issue I have with cryonics. Now, if legal suicide is legal in some places.
Right, and they bring you back to life.
First off, cryonics is not going to work unless you freeze them while they're alive. That's my firm belief.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I think that makes sense because they've done it with little animals. Right. So why can't we do it? It's not fair. You know, it's totally counter everything. It's like, I don't want to die. No, you can't kill yourself to die. But I don't want to die. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
It seems silly to me.
Correct.
Let us freeze ourselves alive, please, government.
Yeah. Well, even then, the freezing process is not very good. Simple animals can do it, but somehow we... Yeah,
I don't think the guys in the 60s are going to make it. I hope so, but it doesn't look good for Ted Williams and such.
And I've seen them too. They're in the canisters.
Yeah.
And all these people are doing are just, they're hanged upside down by their feet. Oh, that depends on if they're saved the whole body or just the head. What about the people that just cut their heads off and just are doing the head?
Right?
Yeah.
The head thing.
Yeah, they just froze their head.
I feel like that's
the worst.
Think
about it.
That's the worst option.
That's a cheaper option, though.
Yeah, if you can't afford it,
you're a baller on a budget. Oh, exactly. I can't afford the whole body. I just fucking save my head. They'll figure the rest out later. I'm sure the doctors will find it.
Exactly right.
Wishful thinking, though. If you got the money, I say, why not? You know, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm an American. I support everybody's right to do whatever you want or be whatever you want or think whatever you want. I don't have to agree with it.
You also mentioned fear of veterans from the local police in your message to me.
Dude, there's just a fear of veterans from everybody. Everybody has a fear of veterans, not just...
My grandpa was one. I wasn't afraid.
Well, the ones that you love and know in your family are typically...
my brother's little...
How do I say that? Not really part of this conversation. Yeah. But the typical consensus is a lot of police... Why do you think they show up to your house with body armor and M16s? I mean, they're just scared of everybody, really, but they're even more afraid of veterans.
Yeah. Why are they so afraid?
We have training that they don't, and they know it. And a lot of us do have guns and body armor that they also have. In fact, usually my body armor and weapons are actually more powerful and better than theirs. Oh, and I got extended magazines too. So they don't like that. They get scared. They get nervous.
It's kind of annoying how afraid they are of every single thing, and we have to deal with it. Yeah. And we're supposed to be like, well, the cops are good. They're doing their jobs and they're trying to help us, even though they harassed me. Like the time I was walking down the street and they just said, "Can I see your ID, please?"
Oh God, I hate that. Yeah.
And I'm like, why should I show you my ID? But I'm just going to show it to you because you're going to make my life hell. So let's just get this crap over with. Sure. 5 minutes instead of hours of my life or days, you know?
Right.
So you just go along with it, and it's totally unconstitutional.
It's much better that way.
Yeah, it's unconstitutional, but I go along with it to make my life easier, their life easier. It's not fair. There should be a day when we all give them crap, but we don't do that. So
best thing you can do is just don't give them any information.
Exactly.
I hate to say that.
Yeah. got to give them as little as you can. Just move on.
That's actually the best thing. If
Yeah.
not, just don't say anything at all.
Mm.
Am I
I'm
being
sure that-
arrested? If not, call my lawyer.
Detectives, I appreciate. You know, I watch shows about detectives. I can see they're solving murder cases. I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys are great. I think you're doing a great job. There should be people out there solving murder cases.
Correct.
But don't stop me in the middle of the street, ask for my ID because I look like someone in APB, which I know is total crap because I have long hair. I look a little shady. Come on.
It's just a way to
Yeah.
abuse and violate your rights.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Don't appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
When I was younger, getting pulled
But
over.
I can say, though, having that kind of power, has some responsibilities. And that's the problem is people with power sometimes don't handle it very well or responsibly. And I'm not saying I've abused my power before, but I've been put in a position of power. And I know that sometimes it can go to your head. And you do need a reality check and just say, hey, so it's just best not to abuse your power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw that you were jamming sometime last year around April. You guys still playing with that band?
No, that's just a side project of mine. I just play for fun.
Yeah.
As a kid, hearing Metallica, I wanted to be like Metallica, but realized obviously reality is not. I'm not going to be Metallica, and I do fun stuff, fun side projects. So really, that's just jamming. Really, just for fun. Yeah.
And one of the T-shirts you designed, Putin, Trump, Nunez, they're all in what was that movie called? The Human Centipede format?
I don't know, but I think somebody got the inspiration from a South Park thing. But yeah, it's a parody of the Human Centipede. And I think it all came out about when that Republican from California, Representative Nunez.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally or anything, but supposedly he's suing Facebook or Twitter. He's suing somebody for some parody accounts. And that was one of the images that he is claiming that hurt his reputation. So I just took basically a pencil drawing that I saw on TV and then turned it into a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And but basically kind of.
Yeah, this guy Devon Nunez.
It's disturbing.
Republican from California is suing Twitter and 3 users for defamation.
Right.
They smeared him?
Yes.
The platform allowed it to happen.
One of them was called Devon Nunez's cow, and I think the other one was Devon Nunez's mother.
Really?
Yeah. They're a fake account. They're obviously BS accounts. You know what I mean?
Russian hackers.
I don't know.
Right.
That would be funny, but apparently not. I think they're in America. So I like Seth Meyers. Is it called Seth Meyers? Late Night? No. Late Night with Seth Meyers? Am I saying that right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like Trevor Noah and Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call those guys? Talk show hosts?
Late night talk show hosts.
Late night, news pundit guys.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of all the funny shows on there.
Well, I don't know why James Gunn should sue as well, because if this is the precedent we're setting, because he was also smeared, and at least he got his job back from Disney.
Who is it?
James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy director. He was fired, and now he was brought back by Disney, thankfully.
Gotcha.
Because of some tweet 8 years ago. He was just trying to be provocative, and I don't think he should condemn people for something.
I don't either. We're supposed to be a country that when you do a crime and you get busted, you do the time, and then all supposed to be forgiven. But
yeah.
We go back so far on people. I'm like, it seems to be the expectation we're all supposed to be perfect.
Right.
But really, we are not.
Doesn't look like the 7-year clause. That doesn't apply to the internet.
No.
So.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
It's not fair.
It is not fair. And I think people need to grow up, get some thick skin, and just move on. Quit looking at the past. Whatever happened is already done.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go back. It doesn't hurt you. Move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the internet, they're just making posts on Twitter just because it gets a reaction. They're like, I'm going to counter every guy. I'm going to be the hater of this particular celebrity because people notice me. There's this one guy who hates Colin Moriarty, and That's his whole job. It's just to make horrible posts about this one guy who he doesn't like because he has some Republican values. It's like, chill out. Because he did one wrong thing he didn't like, so I'm going to be his enemy for the rest of his life. It's like, dude, you need to check what you're trying to do in life, because that is a waste of time, in my opinion. You can't do that. You got to make your own way in life.
What shows somebody's true character is how they react after they've done something wrong. And if they can just learn from it and move on and don't repeat that mistake, I think that's that's just how it should work. Yeah, you shouldn't be prevented from having a job because, I was arrested as a teenager for weed.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, which happened to me, by the way, but I was never charged. See, charges were dropped. But still to this day, on an application, have you ever been arrested? I have to put in there, yeah, I was arrested for weed. But guess what? The charges were dropped. Nothing was filed. And I was only, I was in jail for less than 24 hours. They let me go, Yeah. It was crap. In Texas, by the way. Yeah. Not a good place to, if you're 420 friendly.
Right.
Yeah, which I am, Yeah. Yeah.
It's not fair, at all.
No, not for something that grows in the dirt. It's been around longer than we have.
Yeah. I find myself on Twitter, if the guy is hating on someone else, I'll hate on that guy. It's like, why are you giving this guy some crap for something he did a year ago? Just leave him alone, man. Yeah. And then they'll come back at me. So I'm like, no, I can't even do that.
Yep. Yep. I can, on occasion, yes. I think it's fair to be able to just rip into someone who has just ripped into somebody else. Absolutely. Especially when it's retarded. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to just search. I want to see what this guy's doing on Twitter. If I search his name, I don't want to have people freaking insulting him. I just want to see what's going on with the guy without insults. Is that so hard to ask? So I'm going to lash out if you're going to do that. I'm sorry. It's not fair.
Sometimes after you post something, you might as well just put that little caveat in there. Please do not respond or reply because I don't give a fuck.
It'd be funny if there was a way to turn replies off completely. On YouTube, we could turn likes off.
Yeah.
It's not, why are they so bad on Twitter in particular? It's like, I don't get it.
I don't know, because I don't really do the twitting thing.
Yeah.
I literally have been living under a rock in many other foreign countries for a long time. That for me, I don't get it either, but that's just the way everybody's hooked into the social media.
Yeah.
I was actually addicted to the smartphone for a while.
Yeah.
For the last year and a half, 2 years, I have not had a smartphone. I do not carry a smartphone. I got the flip phone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
You get more done.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I get less phone calls and I get less texts because everybody knows that,
less time when you're sitting there and you're just scrolling through and you don't even know why you're scrolling through.
But I do know it's a great way to waste time.
Oh, yeah.
To kill time.
Oh, it's the best way to waste time.
Yeah.
There's no better way because the world's at your fingertips. And
Speaking of time, how much more time do we have? I don't want to go over bore the people out there. And
we've gone about an hour.
YouTube land. Hi, everybody.
We've gone about an hour, and my next guest is parked, so I guess we should end it. And she said that about 8 minutes ago. Rulina.
Do we need to end it now?
Yeah, we should end it now.
Okay.
She's here. So.
Well, I want to say hi to my lady and my kids, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
And having me out here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
we're friends now.
Absolutely. It was great having you.
Thank you. I
Have you
appreciate
back
it.
sometime.
Yeah.
Check in on your business.
I'd be more than likely welcome to come back anytime.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.